The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversations and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now, here's your hosts Frank Allan and Brian Camp.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan, and everybody's getting started over there. So we're going to shoot off our evening here. Hi, welcome back to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. And we're going to be with you for a whole full hour. We start right now, and we're going to get everybody involved in the show. That includes all of you, and we get you involved in conversation anytime at all. You can start it right now. Now, I want to say hello to all of my friends who've been around with us all of these years. Thank you so much for being along with us. And for some of you who may be new to the show, well, let me tell you how the show operates. We get started as the host of the show. I start operating in the mode of production and getting things started, right? So as I get things started, I throw out a conversation. We can start that out. We don't have to linger on that piece of conversation for the whole entire show. That's when you come in and you can chime in any time you like. All you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, on your telephone, right there, and even on your tablet, right? You can do all of that. Type in whatever you want to talk about. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. And of course, we'll be looking for all of that. Okay, so stay with us. We've got a great show for you. And those of you who are just popping in just now, as I said, I'll repeat myself. It's Talk Back Live, and we're going to be here now. Brian Camp is going to be with us. And Brian, of course, right throughout the show, he's my co-host. And of course, he brings us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, we look forward to seeing him here. We've got, let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can find Brian so I can pinch him up here. He was out there. We have this problem every once in a while. He'll be here and then he'll drop out, but we'll check it out. We'll see what we got. Brian, if you're watching, try it again. I don't know what happened. Try it again. Bring us up there, and we'll get you on. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We've got sports, as I said, coming up with Brian, my co-host, and then later on we have this thing that we do all the time called This Day in History. So every day, every week, we go back in time on This Day in History. Now, here we are. It's the very first day of August that we're providing. This is our first show in August. It's August 6th right now. And somewhere along the line back in those days, August 6th was a historical day somewhere. And of course, we have a long laundry list of all of that. So that's coming up later on in the program. Also, I also have those movies. Now, you know, the weekend is coming up. And of course, you know, there's a lot of things that you want to be doing. It's the summertime, so we want to savor the moment because already it's August, and before you know it, it'll be September. But this weekend and every weekend, of course, we go into the Turner Classic Vault movie show, and we check out what happens in the movies, all right? And what we do is that we pick the very best movies we can find, And if by any chance you want to check them out, stay with us towards the end of the hour, and then we'll have those movies for you. Those are my picks of the week for your weekend. I just want to add something to the weekend. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us, and we're still waiting for Brian to come in along. He was here, but he dropped out. So Brian, again, if you're watching, if you're listening somewhere, dial in again, and we'll get you up there once again. We got a great show for you, so stay with us again. Those of you who want to indulge in conversation, feel free, and you can develop your own particular conversation. You can do that. You can get your own conversation, anything that you want to talk about. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is just type it in there. We'll entertain you. We'll give you this free exchange of ideas and of opinion. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. And so we have to put that disclaimer in each week. This way, we get everybody to know that we own everything that we talk about, everything. So we don't want to leave out anything. Whatever we say, we own it. Brian Camp is here. Brian, welcome aboard once again. And wow, technology is crazy this week.
Well, we got bad weather over here, so I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah,
this week has been crazy.
yeah,
It's been started raining mid-afternoon. It got start getting like around 3 o'clock. It started getting dark and cloudy. And whenever you
mhm,
see that, there's showers that's going to come. Going to have rain up until 9 or 10 o'clock tonight here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
yeah. Well, let's hope we get through this show, because uh, I know here, I don't know how it is where you are, but we had a few electronical problems here in New York. Did you? I was watching the Yankee game last night, and the lights went out at the stadium. Did you see that?
I actually was able to go into a Yankee game to watch it. I haven't watched the Yankees in a while.
Hmm.
So yeah, I did tune in. They did had a couple of it was a weird night, the whole
Yeah,
night and
it
everything.
was.
So yeah, so I don't know if they fixed that problem. Hopefully they did, hope so, you know.
Yeah, eventually they finished the game. The lights, because they were like, it wasn't totally black, but there were lights shining in certain parts of the stadium, and then they had to stop the game for a while, because I guess it was just too dark to actually play the game, so they had to stop the game for a while, and then all
Right.
of a sudden the lights came on, you know. So
Strange, real
hey,
strange.
strange. I don't know, gremlins or whatever is in it. I don't know. Anyway, I hope,
Something.
my fingers crossed, he can get by this show because
Yeah, we
I
hope.
don't. Anyway, how's everything going anyway?
Everything's okay. It's been a busy day. Just got in not too long ago. Had a couple of things I had to do, a couple of meetings I had to attend to, but
Mhm.
was made it back okay. Had ran some appointments today, and it's been a long day, a tiresome day, so, but I made it through the day, and we're here once again to talk back live for another week,
Yeah,
and so gracious that we could do this every week. Yes.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens as we try to see more people come in. I hope that the show is as we get.
Hmm.
Hope people are actually seeing it for, I mean, we're on the air, but I hope, being with the electronical thing that's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. I went today, I went over to Trader Joe's to pick up a few things, some items, for food, and
Hmm.
I noticed their refrigeration, a lot of it was out. The whole ice cream section was out. The frozen food section was out. They didn't have any frozen food in there because all of their refrigeration went out.
Wow. That is
It,
that is strange, I
yeah,
mean, it's real strange. I mean, I don't know what the weather was the weather good in New York City today, or was it raining?
was okay today.
Okay.
I,
But not enough for any power to go out though, right?
no, no, not at all,
Yeah.
not at all. You
Yeah.
know, last night we had a little heavy rain. I mean, it wasn't that heavy. It was, yeah, I guess it was heavy. You didn't want to stand out in the rain, but I mean, watching the Yankee game, they had to not postpone it, but they had to put it on hold for a while until the rain cleared up. And then when the rain cleared up, that's when the lights went out. So I'm not sure what's taking place here. If anybody's out there watching, let me know in your area if you had any problems with electrical problems or anything like that. But other than that, it was okay. I
Okay.
don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, as long listen, I pay all of my rent. I pay my bills, so it
Yeah.
can't be that. It can't be at. But I haven't experienced anything in particular just yet.
Right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And when you come in, keep your fingers crossed with the rest of us. So hopefully that this show will go on without any problems. All right. Brian, later on, you got sports coming up. You got a lot to talk about tonight.
I have one main issue to talk about.
Oh boy.
That's gonna hopefully not rub the people the wrong way. I've been on fire this whole day. Didn't want to ruffle nobody's feathers on social media, but I did. Didn't mean to intentionally do it, but I'm tired of people looking up to certain athletes as they are so-called war heroes or some kind of gods and everything. But I'm going to explain to that in a couple minutes. So I'm going to be a little on fire today. I'm going to keep my cool, but I'm on fire today for sure.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I guess it makes for a good show. We'll see about that. We've got I've mentioned earlier, we've got those movies coming up for you later on in the program. I have those movies that I go into Turner Classic Movies and make sure you get a chance to get those. I'll list them all for you. And then plus, of course, again, I have this day in history. Here we are. It's our first show of the month of August. Here we are, August 5th, August 6th. It is 6th. Yeah, August 6th. And so there you go. And all of this month, we're going to tell you, it's about that time because all of this month is National Immunization Awareness Month. Okay, so you know what that means, Brian? That means all of the shots that you're supposed to be taking, they're just about ready to come out now. And all month long, we'll be talking about this, like the flu shots and all of those other shots. So is something wrong?
When you say shots and all this stuff, I think about poor Dr. Fauci.
Oh, yeah.
He's going through enough. He's been held in contempt,
I know.
Go ahead, continue.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there in the segment. That's about to come. We'll get there. But yeah, listen, I don't care who says if no one wants to take shots, that's okay. You don't have to, but people who do believe in it, leave them alone and let them take it. Anyway, they're all coming along, and I got to tell you something, Brian. I just found out just this past week because I went to my pharmacy to pick up my medication, and they always ask you questions. Did you get your shot yet? You get this shot? You get that shot yet? Are you okay with this? Are you okay with that? And I'm happy that they do that. And I said, well, I know the flu shots. He said, they're available. I said, well, I usually wait until around September, the beginning of September. That's when I usually like to take it, He says, okay, all you have to do is just come right on, just walk right in. And then I said, well, what about the COVID? You know what I found out, Brian? At this time, I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but at this particular time, there are no updated COVID shots. Nothing updated.
No.
So if you had a COVID shot last year, it doesn't make sense to take another one. So I don't think they're going to update anything. I don't know why that is. I have to look into that and find out what's happening.
Not at this time. I don't think they're going to do anything right now. There's too much things going on right now with Dr. Fauci and his government. And midterms are coming up. It's all mixed in together.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing I are worried about too, kids are going back to school. Like in your area, they're going back at the end of August. Yeah. And in my area, it starts in September. And kids have to get their shots.
Yeah.
They got to get their flu shots. And if there are updated COVID shots, they should have those. But I found out, the pharmacist told me, he says, as of now, we don't know, but as of now, there's no updated COVID vaccinations. And I did ask, I said, well, will that change? She said she doesn't know. I said, well, then it makes no sense to take another shot if this is the one that they still have. She says, no, guess not. If you had taken it, there's no sense in taking it again. So I have to stay on top of that issue. I have to
Yeah,
stay on top of that issue.
yeah.
Yeah. It's Talk Back Live. Actor Scott Hyland's best known for his role on television on this television series Night Heat has died. Hyland's died last Wednesday, according to his son Luke, who announced the news on his Instagram. He shared that on his Instagram this past Friday or last Friday. And Hylands was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia in 2021. And Hylands was born in Lethbridge, a city in Alberta, Canada, in 1943. It remains unclear whether the actor's death was related to the prior diagnosis. He was 83. Okay, it's time for sports, and I can't wait to see what you have.
Yeah, well, okay. Well,
I'm
let
listening.
me
It's all yours.
okay, let me just get to the basics right here. Um, Baseball right now, as you know, coming down to the August. We got 2 more months left. Watching the Yankee game and everything, and you know, they're going through their little trades and they're going through their turmoil and everything. The Dodgers are in limbo, but that's not what we want to talk about. But that's just baseball. Let me just say this: on this day in sports, August 6th, 1952, Satchel Paige, 46 years old, becomes the oldest pitcher to win a complete shutout, 1-0. Tigers win the game in 12 innings. 1953, Ted Williams returns to the Red Sox for military in Korea and ends the season with a 407 batting average. Now, mind you, he did that with limited at bats. So he didn't really have a full season. He just came back out of the war, but he came back hitting. 1963, the Philadelphia Nationals changes to the Philadelphia 76ers based on the United States Declaration of Independence in 1776. I never knew that. That's how they got their name, the Philadelphia 76ers in 1963, because of the signing of the Declaration of Independence of the United States, being independent and having their own freedom. 1967, Brooks Robinson, Baltimore Orioles, hits his into a major league record fourth career triple play. That's hard to do. You get hit into a triple play, that's hard to do. Bad luck. 1972, Hank Aaron hits his 660th and 661st career home run versus the Atlanta Braves, breaking Babe Ruth's major league record for most home runs with one team. Later on, and 2 years later, he broke Babe Ruth's all-time home run record at that time of 714. As you know, Hank Aaron went through a lot of turmoil with hate mail, racial um, names was being called at him, th- death threats, and everything. But he still maintained the professionalism that he has always possessed. He still broke the record. That same year, 1972, Roberto Clemente, Warren Spahn, Billy Evans, Monty Irvin, Mickey Welch, and George High Pockets Kelly are inducted into Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. 1984, Major League Baseball Players Association stages a midseason baseball strike lasting for 1 day. It was in 1984. 1986, Baltimore Jim Dwyer and Larry Sheets and Texas Toby Harrah hit Major League Baseball record 3 grand slams in a Texas 13-11 win. That was 3 grand slams that was hit between the two teams. It's amazing. Grand Slam, if you don't know, Grand Slam home run is when the bases are full with runners on bases, first, second, and third, and a guy come up and hits a home run. Everybody scores. All four players is considered a Grand Slam home run. 1989, Boston Red Sox retired Major League Baseball Hall of Famer left fielder and first baseman Carl Yastrzemski's number 8. He wore number 8 on his uniform, retired his number. 1990, Jim Palmer, Joe Morgan are inducted into Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. 1999, Tony Gwynn goes 4 for 5 and collects his 3,000th Major League Baseball hit as San Diego defeated the Montreal Expos 12-10 at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Canada. Sports birthdays on this day, 1945. Andy Messersmith, Major League Baseball pitcher, four-time All-Star, two-time Gold Glove for the California Angels and the LA Dodgers, was born in Toms River, New Jersey. 1957, happy birthday, Bob Horner, Major League Baseball third baseman, National League 1978 Rookie of the Year, Major League All-Star for 1982, played for the Atlanta Braves, was born in Junction City, Kansas. 1960, Dale Ellis, NBA guard forward, 1983 to 2000, played for the Seattle Supersonics. Denver Nuggets, was born in Marietta, Georgia. 1965, happy birthday to David Robinson, known as the Admiral, because he played for the Naval Academy while he was in college. NBA center, played for the San Antonio Spurs. Olympic gold medal in 1992, was born in Key West, Florida. 1967, Mike Greenberg, known as Greeny, from as a sportscaster from ABC, ESPN, from the old Mike and Mike show. Also, is currently on TV as his show is called Get Up, and TV personality, was born in New York City, New York. 1973, Max Kellerman, also he's a former American sportscaster, HBO for ESPN, was born in the Bronx, New York. So that's the day in sports.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. You're frozen. And when you come back, you
Cunningham.
start it all over again.
Say
Because,
that again.
oh, okay. Whatever you were going to start with, start it all over again because you started to freeze. I thought maybe you took a pause. So
Mhm.
start over again, whatever you started to say.
Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham sparked a national debate in July of 2026 by stating in an ESPN profile that transgender women and girls should be barred from female designated sports categories to protect biological women and locker room privacy. This stance created a sharp public division between advocates for competitive fairness based on biological sex and inclusion advocates supporting transgender athletes. Now, what's been happening is lately, there's transgender that's been playing in women's sports. My take is this: if you want to change your sex, that's your business. That is your business, whatever you do. But I'll be damned should you even go into a woman's space. If you're born male and decide to change your sex, that's fine. That's on you. But you should never be going into a woman's locker room. Let them have their privacy. They're born women. They should have the decency to have their respect and their privacy. Now, the argument stated by Sophie Cunningham, fair competition, believes that athletes assigned to male at birth retain um, physical, physiological advantages such as bone density, lung capacity, and muscle mass that compromise fair play in women's sports. Go with me with this. Private spaces. This is what I just talked about. Women should have their own private spaces. Emphasizes this is what she emphasized: the need to preserve privacy and safety for young girls and biological women inside locker rooms. Intent states that her position is based on common sense. It is common sense. Protection of a female athletics rather than animosity or hatred towards the transgender community. Nobody's hating on on transgenders. You are what you are. If you decided to want to have to change your sex, go ahead. Go ahead. But I'd be damned should you even want to go into a woman's bathroom and use the bathroom, to go into a woman that was born a woman, to go into a woman's locker room. As far as I'm concerned, you're a man. You was born a man. You're going to be a man. Your private parts indicate that you are a man. You are a male. You should not be coming into a privacy of a born woman, girl, young lady. Inclusion and belonging protesters, various sports figures, and WNBA Players Association argued that excluding trans women marginalizes vulnerable youth and denies them the social and mental health benefits of team sports. Team and league disruption. Coaches and figures within basketball circles express concern that the high-profile culture war discourse acts as a distraction from sports itself, prompting demonstrations and counter rallies outside arenas. Now, here's the flip side to this. Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve wore a light blue shirt a couple of days ago, and this is what it reads: "Trans kids belong." Really? No. If they want to change their sex life, fine. But they do not belong in female and women's, women, young girls, sports, or in their locker rooms. What is the problem with that? It doesn't make sense. There are fans in the stands wearing t-shirts that read, "Trans kids belong in sports." Are you kidding me? Now here's the kicker. 27 states, including Indiana, where this occurred, that's the same team that Caitlin Collins played for, have passed legislations barring transgender girls and women from girls and women's school and collegiate sports. The NCAA enacted a policy last year that bars transgender women from women's competition. The International Olympic Committee and U.S. Committee and Paralympic Committee also have banned transgender women from the women's category. So why are the transgender? Again, you can change your sex. What you do, that's your business. But you do not belong in a woman who's born a woman to be in their locker room, to use the bathroom, to use the locker. Let the women have their own privacy. It's a damn shame. I said it. I don't care if people don't like it. There's a lot of people in the sports media that agrees with me, and I agree with them. Sorry.
I wonder, do you remember a long time ago? I didn't last too long because I don't think they do it anymore. They used to have what they call these unisex bathrooms for men and women together. And I'm not talking about, a bathroom that anyone could go into. If you're a male, you go in there first, and then when they come out, then if a woman wants to go in there, fine. Male and female unisex bathroom right in there. Anyone could go in there at the same time. I don't know that they do that anymore.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Uh,
I don't think they do that anymore because of what's happening right now. But again, 27 states, including Washington, D.C.,
mhm.
has banned transgender for going into women's locker rooms.
Mhm.
If you want to call yourself a woman as a transgender, you want to call yourself a woman, that's fine. But you will always be a male because you still got male parts.
Mhm.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear a lot of I guess the feelings are mixed bag feelings. You got some
There's a
people on
few
say,
that's agreeing.
Mhm.
There's many that don't want to get involved,
Mhm.
don't want to say anything. Caitlin Clark is not really saying much about it. I mean, this is on her team. Sophie Cunningham is saying this. This is her player. Her teammate is saying this.
Mhm.
Women, stand up. Stand
I,
up. You
I,
don't want no
did,
man.
did they have
Excuse
any
me.
transgender players on Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Collins, Caitlin Clark? Get them mixed up.
Caitlin
Yeah. Do you have any?
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. Do you have any transgender players on her team?
Not that I know of, because we don't know who's real and who's not real.
Yeah.
We
See,
don't know.
that's the thing. You don't know. You don't know. And if you try out for a team, if you were once a male and you're a female and you look exactly like a female, and you try out for a team, they're not going to strip you down to see what you are, see what your gender really
I
is.
guess you would know it when you're in the locker room, when you take a shower. I mean, they take showers together. But
Yeah.
the coach for the Minnesota Lynx, a team in the WNBA, says that trans kids belong. As she directed her team, the top club in the WNBA.
Uh-huh.
Her team beat the Fever. But if you remember back in the 70s, Billie Jean King was playing against what's his name? Rig. What's his last name? Rig. It was the battle of the sexes.
Hmm.
And then remember the tennis player Renee Richards?
Yeah.
Renee Richards was a transgender, but she was on the women. That was a big controversy. That was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Renee Richards. Get a chance, look her up. I remember that as a kid, as a young man,
Yeah.
teenager. I was like, yeah.
Well, this all goes back to not just sports too. Remember in the military, it's like they had transgenders in the military, and they were like really up in arms about that. So they came up with this thing, if say nothing or do nothing or say nothing or whatever that phrase
If
was.
you see something, say something.
No, no, it's another phrase that they use.
Oh,
Oh, don't talk, don't ask, don't tell, or don't tell, don't ask, or something like that. I,
yeah.
I, I mix it up. It's something like that. Don't ask or don't tell.
But people got to start speaking up on this. People got to start speaking up on this here. Listen, they the gay community is the gay community.
Hmm.
A lot of people would have not received them or accepted them.
Hmm.
You know, my stance is you are what you are. God made man to be a man. God made a woman to be with a woman. I stand by that.
Hmm.
But you have that right. But there's 27 states, including Indiana, that passed the legislation barring transgender girls and women from girls and women's school and collegiate sports.
Yeah. Well, I personally like when I go to the men's room, I just want to see men. I'd rather not have that unisex thing going on, but men's of men, women. So I don't know how this whole thing is going to pan out, because it's been out here for a long time, and no one seems to know what they're going to do. Put it into law. I hope it doesn't get down to that when they have to
It's
actually put.
going to, it's going to, it's going to, it's going to. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to. But there's 27 states who smart enough, and this is where I agree with the Republicans.
Yeah.
I agree with the Republicans on that
Yeah.
because religiously, biblically speaking, it wasn't planned for this. This
Mhm.
wasn't in God's plan. But to each his own. I want to bring religion into this, but I know what I know. I grew up believing a man should be with a man, woman to be a man, excuse me, a man to be with a woman. God wanted the earth to be to make to replenish the earth when God destroyed the earth first with the flood,
Mhm.
fruitful and multiple.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a new world. It's a new world. Whether you agree or disagree.
Right. But again, I have to say this. I'm not against transgenders personally. I
Mhm.
have no problems. You want to change your sex? That's up to you.
Mhm.
What's his name? Bruce Jenner is
Freedom of
one.
expression. That's where the freedom of expression comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to be what you want to be, fine. But let the women who were born women, let them have their space.
Yeah.
That's sports, ladies and gentlemen.
And you're listening to, or you're watching us on the Talkback Live, and that was Brian Camp preaching the word. And I'm Frank Allen, and we're going to be with you until the top of the hour. Hey, Brian, this week, well, this wouldn't concern you because you never miss a great. But this is National Root Beer Float Day.
Yeah.
That that
Yeah.
that does that doesn't phase you.
Nah.
So we'll move
Grape
on.
soda, anything that's grape is always important to me. Never miss a grape.
All right. Well, let's go back in time right now because this day in history, going back to 1910, in New York City, Mayor William J. Gaynor is seriously wounded in assassination attempt. On this day in history in 1939, the first broadcast of the Dinah Shore Show on NBC. On this day in history in 1954, WLAC, which is now WTVF, that's TV Channel 5 in Nashville, Tennessee, CBS station begins broadcasting. On this day in history in 1960, Chubby Checker performs his version of Hank Ballard's The Twist on the Dick Clark Show, starting a worldwide dance craze. Back in 1962, Jamaica becomes independent after 300 years of British rule.
Mhm.
Back in 1965, the Beatles released their fifth UK album, Help, from the film soundtrack. And that same year, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson, this is history, Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act,
That's right.
prohibiting voting discrimination against minorities. We'll get back to that later on.
Yes, we will.
1970, Festival of Peace concert is held at Shea Stadium in New York to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombing. And performers include Janis Joplin, Paul Simon, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Steppenwolf, Miles Davis, Johnny Winter, Herbie Hancock, Dionne Warwick, John Sebastian, The Rascals, and the Broadway cast from Hair. In 1973, Stevie Wonder is involved as a passenger in a car crash in North Carolina and goes into a 4-day coma. In 1982,
Mm.
WQXI in Atlanta, Georgia, is the first to use the Harris Corporation AM stereo system. In 1996, American punk rock, the Remains, performs for the last time at the Palace in Hollywood, California. On this day in history in 1996, U.S. President Bill Clinton signs a new bill imposing sanctions on non-U.S. companies that invest over $40 million a year in the energy sectors in Iran and Libya. In 1997, Microsoft company, that's Microsoft, announces it will invest $150 million in Apple Corporation, Apple Computer Incorporation. In 2018, on this day in history, Facebook, Apple, YouTube, and Spotify removes conspiracy theorist Alex Jones from their platform. In 2023, Barbie the film passes $1 million at the global box office. Its director Greta Garwig is the first solo female filmmaker to achieve this. In 2024, Kamala Harris picks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice president running mate. Lucille Ball was born on this day in 1911, and she was born in Jamestown, New York. She died April 26, 1989, and she died at the age of 77 years old. In 1917, actor Robert Mitchum was born on this day. He was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He died in 1997. In 1923, on this day in history, radio disc jockey William B. Williams was born in Babylon, New York, and he died in 1986. Artist Andy Warhol was born on this day in 1928. He was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He died February 22nd, 1987, at 58 years old from a heart attack. On this day in history in 1930. Singer-actress Abby Lincoln was born in Chicago, Illinois. She died in 2010. In 1951, actress Catherine Hicks was born in New York City. She's 75 today. In 1956, actress Stephanie Kramer was born in Los Angeles, California. She's 70 today. In 1958, singer Randy DeBarge from the group DeBarge was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's 68. 1972, singer Ginger Spice, real name is Jerry Horner from the Spice Girls, was born in Watford, England. She's 54. In 1974, jazz artist Gene Ammons dies of bone cancer at the age of 49 years old. Journalist Harry Reisner died on this day in 1991 at 68 from a stroke. He was born April 17, 1923 in Dakota City, Iowa. Musician Rick James died on this day in 2004 at 56 years old from pulmonary failure and cardiac failure. And he was born February 1st, 1948 in Buffalo, New York. And finally, 2025, Latin jazz musician Eddie Palmieri dies at 88 years old. So that's what's happening on this day in history. If you know something that's going down on this day in history, please let us know. We'll add it to that list and we'll convey it to everyone who is watching.
I did not know that Stevie Wonder was in a car accident. And
oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that very well.
Wow.
And there were a lot of speculations on how he died and how he got into that car accident. There were speculations, but since it's speculation, I won't go into it. And I can talk to you privately about it if you want to know about it. Okay. If you'd like to get in touch with Brian or I, Brian for sports, me for entertainment or whatever, you can get in contact with us. We have a telephone number and an email address. You can contact us. And the email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And please get in touch with us. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could just do that. It's easy. And you could just want to say hi. You just want to say hi or whatever. Whatever you want to do to communicate with us, that's it. And keep it all in your electronic devices, such as your computer, be it laptop or desktop or your tablet or even your telephone. Keep it there right there and use it again anytime you want. The address once again is Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Let's go to those movies. I only have 2 this week. So I picked them out from Turner Classic Movies. They're classic, be it they're black and white or color. It doesn't matter. As long as they're classics. And I bring them along to you each week because your weekend is coming up, and maybe one of the things that you want to do is catch up on some movies. So I just want to add to your list. So these are classics, and these are uh, only two this week. Here's one going back to 1959, Never So Few, starring Frank Sinatra, Gina Lola Brigida, and the Flintstones would call her Gina Lola Jupiter. I think that was either the Flintstones or the Jetsons. I can't remember. Anyway,
No, I think it was Gina Lola Bricketa, because every time you have a name, it has to be with a stone or a rock.
yeah,
So I think it was the Flintstones.
yeah, and they called Tony Curtis Stony Curtis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Frank Sinatra, Gina Lola Brigida, and Peter Lawford. And that's Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. That's early in the morning, I know. But again, you can always record these movies and watch them later on. And here's the other one called The Magnificent Seven. Now, this is the original one.
That's the
I'm not
best
sure.
one.
Yeah, that's the best one. The original one from 1960 with Hugh Brenner, Eli Wallach, and Steve McQueen. It's Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 12:45 p.m. Eastern. And again, you don't get a chance to watch it in real time. By all means, record them if you still have your box, your record box, what they call the DVR box, right? You can record it and watch them later. And of course, if you still have your cable, you can go on there and check out uh, Turner Classic Movies, go down the line because there may be other movies that I didn't mention that you may like, and you can add them onto your list. And of course, you have pay-per-view movies, you have the free movies, you have um, great sports, all kinds of great stuff for the kids, and documentaries, the whole nine yards right there. So, you know, get a chance to watch them. Again, these movies, Never So Few, Frank Sinatra, Gina Lola Brigida, Peter Lawford, Turn Classic Movies, Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern, and The Magnificent Seven, Yul Brenner, Eli Wallach, and Steve McQueen, Turner Classic Movies, Saturday at 12:45 p.m. I hope you get a chance to watch them. Brian, I'm going to let you handle this one because you mentioned it first. You want to talk about Fauci? I didn't have it down on my list, but that's something to talk about.
Um, Dr. Fauci, as many of you all remember, was during the pandemic. Some people was with him, some was against him, some didn't want to take the vaccination.
Mhm.
Um, I'll say this. He was a doctor. I don't want to call him a person. I got to give him respect. He was a doctor. He's a doctor. Um, who was accused of making millions of dollars off of the pandemic and misled the United States and the world in many ways. And they said that Fauci, misled them by saying stay away from people for 6 feet, which was over exaggerated. Um, he didn't know what he was doing. But how do you explain the death over 1.5 million or more? I don't know the exact number of people dying in the United States from this virus. They now are trying to accuse him of that he killed many Americans.
Hmm.
I know many people who did not take the vaccination died personally.
Mhm.
Few people that I grew up with refused to take it, died. Some of my former co-workers died, not because they didn't want to take it, but they died. I know some people that did not take it are still with us. I'm not a doctor, but I truly believe, this is my personal opinion. I may be wrong. I hope I am wrong, but this is my personal opinion. Isn't it how ironic that Dr. Fauci name is popping up? He's on Capitol Hill. He's being questioned harshly. Now they held him in contempt. But isn't it how how his name is coming up through all of this, and the midterms are right around the corner.
Hmm.
Didn't I tell you that man that resided at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Some of you may think I'm over exaggerating. I may be, but it seemed like whenever something comes up, that president, that current president, is behind everything. Now he's going after Dr. Fauci. Many people out of the woodwork, I told you so. I told you so. Dr. Fauci, even I was listening to Chris Cuomo, and he was saying he's a very good friend of Dr. Fauci, but he warned Dr. Fauci, you better watch your back because they're coming to get you. And this is where he's standing now. Now, the latest that they held him in contempt because he kept on pleading the fifth, which is his um which is his right. I plead the fifth. He didn't want to, he's not going to talk about it. But now, all of a sudden, now they want to bring this up.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that the Republicans and Donald Trump, and I may be wrong, but it seems like whenever something pops up lately in the political world, something has always come. But yet, Epstein files, they don't want to bring out the Epstein files. They don't want to bring them out, or all of them. It's just another cover up.
Yeah, he was what they want to convict him, right? They want to convict him, and I think all of this is done out of desperation.
Yes.
All of these things that were past tense, and all of a sudden you're right, they come back. I haven't heard from Dr. Fauci in a while. I thought maybe he retired. He retired, didn't he?
Bringing them back.
He retired. You figure after he retired, he goes on to the sunset, and that's it. But they want to they want to reel you back in there. I think it's all out of desperation because right now it doesn't look good for the Republican Party as far as the midterms is concerned. I mean, I've seen strange things happen, but right now it doesn't look his and Trump's popularity had plummeted down into the 30s. That's bad. That's bad. That's terrible. And I was listening to news. Of course, I always try to listen to the news, especially not on the weekends. So, but they were asking questions to voters. They said, "Oh, what do you think now?" Well, I voted for Trump 3 times, and I'm sorry I did it. I don't know why he's not making it good for us. I once said, Brian, that I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for any of those Republican people who voted for Trump. I changed my stance. I changed my stance because now they know. Now they know. And I changed my stance only because of the fact, because now all of us are in it. They got to realize what's going on. And so that's what I did. I changed my stance. So, yes, I do feel bad for everyone who has to indulge in all of this, even the people who voted for it. I really
Right.
feel bad for them. And this guy had
I,
a,
I just don't understand. You have 1.2 million Americans died of COVID. So
yeah,
how is this man, what does he gain by lying to the American people? 1.2, 1,219,000 and 1.2, 1,238 million fatalities. So how do you explain that then? Are we saying that the COVID-19 was a hoax, a witch hunt?
well, according to the Orange Man, it was in the beginning. Yeah, it was. It wasn't real. And then when he started to realize people were getting sick, now he blames China for it.
Of course, he's going to blame China, but this is the same president that told us to drink some bleach.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna bring that up.
Hmm.
He says you can either drink it or inject it into your vein. I noticed he didn't do it because he's still here. You know, you're going to tell people to do something like that. And you know something? I wouldn't doubt for a moment that back then some of his followers did it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Hmm.
I mean, I haven't heard it. I mean, listen, if you inject bleach into your skin, you're gonna die.
Oh,
You're gonna die. It's just that's all there is to it. That's common sense of tell you, you know. And
right.
when they looked at him when he asked the question, well, can't we do that? And they looked at him. You should have seen the expression on their
I know.
faces when they looked at him.
I know. I
You
know.
know? And so it's not just Fauci they're talking about. They want to get Fauci, they want to get Jim Comey, for the shell things, 86 47 thing with, on the beach with the shells.
Yeah.
Remember that? They're still talking about that. Right, you're right. They're talking about everything but the right thing. They're not talking. They don't want to talk about that Epstein thing. They want to talk about everything else except Epstein.
And then you're going to talk about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, that's a lunatic right there. That's a lunatic. America are so, how can I say this? I'll say it. America is still prejudiced. America is not giving the recently elected mayor of New York City a chance because of his background.
Yeah.
They're not giving the Minnesota I forget his name, who just won the election the other night.
Oh, you're talking about Abdul El Sayah.
Yeah,
Abdul El Sayah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Trump already labeled him already. He's a communist. Now we already know what he means by that because he said the same thing about the New York mayor. He was a communist.
Hmm.
See, he always come out with all of these I don't know. He come out with all of these odious expressions and rhetoric,
Hmm.
you know, and thinking that people don't know what he's talking about. But we know what he's talking about.
I
So
am
he let
so through. I am so through with this racial crap that's what goes on. How much time we got? A couple minutes. Let me say this one quickly too. I'm just jumping ship here. I said I started some controversial last night. I said I'm gonna start something on Ted Williams. Did some research on our war hero Ted Williams. This is the same Ted Williams, Major League great, war hero. Did some research. Did you know he used to spit on or spit at fans?
Mhm.
He used to do all of that stuff. Today marks 70 years since he did that. Swung a bat, hit a lady in the head. It was an accident, but he never apologized. He spit on fans, spit at fans, insulted sports writers, never apologized. Roberto Alomar, back some 15 years ago, spit at an empire. It was disgusting. He was wrong. They still talk about it to this very day. The man apologized. He apologized to the umpire. I am sorry for what happened. They made up, they shook hands. But yet, these old fogies, these old Geritol fogies, to this very day, still talk about it. They won't even give him don't even let him have another chance in life. But Ted Williams, a war hero, spat at fans, towards fans. Oh no, what are you talking? I made a post on that on these sports updates, on these sports debate pages. Oh, they cursed me out? But after I paged them, I cut and paste and showed them what happened. Oh, that's when they backed off a little bit. There was a few that was in denial.
Yeah. you talk about people like that who's supposed to be like legends and things like that. And I said something about John Wayne. I made a controversial remark about John Wayne
Oh,
because
he was a racist.
John Wayne was a total
Yes, he
racist.
was.
But you can't say because he's the Duke. He's
Yeah,
the Duke. But I'll add more to that tomorrow. That's for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Brian, thanks a lot. We're going to come back here tomorrow morning, everybody, at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be with me, and he'll have sports and the whole 9 yards, and we'll catch him then. And then meet us back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp, my co-host, and we'll have the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a total good night. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live
With Frank Allen and Brian Camp. The producers are Al Dale and Katina Camp.
Technical Assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.